I'm a virgin bride. I'm still with the same man who took my virginity.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, never been with anybody else?
That's a complete lie.
Super sexy. David Lauterstein on the
Yes.
podcast,
Gonna make me blush.
co-founder and CEO of Nasty Pig.
I am going to start something that celebrates the crossroads of queer identity and sex positivity.
Leather gear, fetish gear, kink wear.
And I really had a lot of deep spiritual connections to kink and SM. You know, if reincarnation may be real, but if not, I'm going to eat donuts and take dick in this lifetime. You
Yeah.
know,
Donuts and dick.
Donuts and
Donuts
dick.
and
yeah.
dick.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Into the Mud podcast. While others celebrate the wins,
We celebrate the mud. I'm Alex Cumin.
I'm Drew King, and today we have super sexy
Yeah.
David Lauterstein on the
Yes.
podcast today.
Gonna make me blush.
No,
Oh,
he's so
there's that
sexy.
voice. There's that voice.
I know. You're gonna like do some ASMR for us with that
I
voice.
know. We'll get there at the end. I love that.
Oh my God. So David, for the world out there, for those that don't know, you are the founder and the CEO of Nasty Pig, which is, oh yes.
I was going to say co-founder. I founded it with
Co-founder.
my husband of 33 years.
Co-founder. Okay,
Amazing.
co-founder.
Yes.
Love.
So co-founder and CEO
Yes.
of Nasty Pig, which is primarily a gay men's fashion brand that leans strongly into leather gear, fetish gear, and like kink wear. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or primarily underwear. Like,
yeah, no,
you have a lot.
We're definitely a full range. We're kind of like the first like queer streetwear brand.
Yeah.
But we pull influences certainly from fetish and other queer archetypes. You know,
Okay.
from everything from gay porn to like cowboys to great American.
Yeah. Tom of Finland.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we get our references from pretty much anywhere.
I love it.
That taps into queer history.
I love it. You know what my favorite wallpaper in the city is? Do you ever go to the Ninth Ave Saloon?
No.
Oh, it's so great.
I mean, I've
love
been
it.
there, but
What
not
is,
in a
wait,
while.
no,
It's just like, it's kind of like a dive, like
Ninth,
dive
what,
gay
like-
bar on 9th Ave and between 46th and 47th, I think.
Okay.
But you go to the bathroom and they have like, it's a ton of Tom of Finland wallpaper, but there's
Right.
also like a bunch of other like gay kind of artsy, like hot cowboy, like dudes
Oh,
wallpaper. It's so
I
sexy.
love that. Get
So I'm
that for
just
your
like, I'm just imagining
bathroom.
you in the bathroom peeing, being like, oh yeah, I'm going to make something like that.
God.
I've been there, but not in a
I'm
while.
sure, I'm sure.
So,
I
yeah.
love that.
Oh my God, I love it.
Can you tell us about the start of it and what, like, how it was born, and also did that happen in conjunction with meeting your husband, or was that before? Or give us the whole story.
So I met my husband, and I was a natural born hustler. Like I wanted to start something. I came out of the closet, and
When did you come out?
I came out in 1992,
And
then
how old were you?
I was 22.
22, baby.
Baby, especially at that time. But,
Okay.
Mhm.
I met my husband. He took me to my first gay pride parade, and I was shocked at how, you know, when I came out, AIDS was still devastating
Yeah.
our queer ancestors. So I was shocked at how much joy we could face. And I was like, I am going to start something that celebrates the crossroads of queer identity and sex positivity.
Great.
At the time, that wasn't being done.
Yeah.
Like being sex positive during AIDS was not a thing.
Yeah.
And so we really just went on a mission. So my husband and I just kind of teamed up, and I sort of had this dream, and he invested his life into building it with me.
Wow.
Yeah. So thank you, my love.
Oh, hubby, thank
Yeah,
you.
Love
still
that.
together.
Oh
He
That's
took
so
my
fun.
virginity. I'm a virgin bride. I'm still with the same man who took my virginity.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait,
Good for you.
good for you.
Okay.
Never been with anybody else.
That's a complete lie.
Okay.
That's different.
Okay. Good answer.
That's
Good answer.
very
Love to
different.
hear
Very
it.
different.
Love
Love
to
to hear it.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wait, I read online that you guys met each other, you and your husband met each other at Dollar Margarita
That
Night.
is correct.
And we
Fuck
need to know,
off.
does it
What?
still exist and can we go?
Definitely doesn't still exist. And it's probably for the best. They were like battery acid. They were
Yes, dollar
disgusting.
margaritas.
I'm ready.
Like dollar
Yeah.
margaritas.
It's like the dollar. Did you ever have the dollar margaritas at Applebee's?
No.
They're disgusting. It's lighter fluid, but you're
Yeah.
just like, fuck
You're
yeah,
just like,
dollar
let's do it,
margaritas
it's
and
done.
done.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my God.
establishment is long gone.
Oh
but,
my God.
bummer.
Oh, you're in New York,
I'm a native New Yorker.
native
Native
New
New
York.
Yorker. Like what neighborhood? What borough?
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn
Staten
where?
Island, then Manhattan. I grew up in Borough Park at first, then
Borough
moved to Staten Island, and then came to Manhattan.
Oh my God. So like New York is
Wow.
in your blood and like
Yeah.
gay.
I'm the consummate New Yorker.
How has being a native New Yorker influenced your brand?
Because Nasty Pig is New York. Like,
It's
and,
so
like,
New
York.
It's
Yeah.
everything. New York is like,
Yeah.
I mean, she's my lady.
Yeah.
I love
Oh.
her. Yeah, there's just something that courses through the streets here, and there's an energy that just crackles, and it's so inspiring, you
Yeah.
know? And I also feel like it's the most natural way to live, that you can hit the street and you don't know if you're walking next to, like a billionaire or a barista, and it doesn't matter. We're all just kind of equalized on the streets here, and I love that. The city is so inspiring. I couldn't live anywhere else.
I have this like nostalgia for New York that I never was a part of. I moved here in 2005, so I've been here for a good chunk of time.
Right.
But like my first time coming to New York was 2000. Oh my gosh, it was October 2001. So right after 9/11. But like, I don't know. I look at like old Times Square and like, I don't know. I feel like I would have had a lot of fun in those spooky little theaters on 42nd Street. Like it was a seedy, like
it was
seedy,
different.
edgy New York, and it was
different.
so different. But like, I have this nostalgia of being like, oh man, I wish I could have been a part of that New York City. Like, do you miss it, or do you like? How do you feel about the New York of today compared to then?
I'm a native New Yorker. If there's one thing to say about this city, is that she is always eating herself alive, regurgitating herself, coming back as something new.
Yeah.
So yes, I got to experience 90s New York and all its decrepitude and all of its dysfunction.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Those theaters, I may or may not have been there. However,
these are like the spooky adult theaters.
Yeah. Definitely was at the piers when they were all banged up. And this neighborhood was a disaster that we're in now. But when you go out, like New York is so alive now. If you go out in Brooklyn and Queens, like the nightlife is thriving. It's still, New York is still serving it. So, I'm the least nostalgic person in the world. For me, I'm about now and what's coming next. So,
ooh, what a perspective!
David.
I'm like,
your energy is doing a lot
what's
for me
Karl
right now.
Lagerfeld who said the good old days weren't that good; they were just old. So,
I love that film too. David
Get this man a second
today.
business.
Oh my!
Get him a second business.
God. Good
like
for you.
this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What's happening now?
I know. I
What's
love
happening
it.
now?
It's beautiful.
What is going on now? Wait. Okay. Here's my question. Okay. Well, first I want to know, what was the first thing that you designed?
So the first thing we made were these prism refraction goggles.
We have a question about that.
Ask away.
Well, I'm curious because like
Not those.
No, those are some big ass.
I like
Rick
them.
Owens glasses.
I like
My
them.
husband made me buy them. I don't buy anything for myself, and he forced me to. That and these big chomping boots. So.
I love
Right.
it. I love it. Yeah. The question is like, so the first thing that you guys designed was a pair of goggles.
Correct.
But like, I'm not trying to be offensive, but I'm like, what a vanilla, innocent thing that you've created compared to what you have now.
Okay, so they
like,
weren't
what was
that innocent. So basically, we would like take these inexpensive swimming goggles, and we'd take the lenses out and put in this like refraction paper that would make everything turn into rainbows, and meticulously glue it in and change the elastic all by hand. And then I would go out to like Limelight and the Tunnel, and I would look for really twisted club kids. And I wore this like pink Hello Kitty knapsack, and I would look for them, and I would be like, hey, try these on. They would put them on. They'd be like, oh my God. And then I'd be like $20.
Just on Molly, like.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was definitely, I wasn't
Hustling.
innocent, but I was hustling.
You were hustling. Damn.
Yeah. So, and it was always, the brand was always in the depths of queer culture. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
So I never set out to not be innocent.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still kind of a little innocent.
Yeah. Are you?
I mean,
don't
I have an
believe that.
innocence to
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
We
you
all
are a
do.
gentleman.
I'm very much a gentleman.
You are a
But there's
gentleman.
nothing sexy about being an asshole.
Do you know?
Nothing
At all.
at all.
Could not agree
period.
more. Could not agree
Period.
more.
Done
Nothing
so.
sexy about being an asshole. I'm
No.
totally with you. So we're going to get into some like, I'm really excited for this conversation today. I know I'm already thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah.
But like, I want to talk a lot about like kink and fetish.
Okay.
And like, so I mean, the way that I phrased the conversation was overcoming shame and embracing kink and fetish. We're gonna dabble and tiptoe and dance all around that. But like in general, I think one of the first questions I wanted to ask, you've already touched about it, is that there was such a massive like celebration of sex in queer culture post Stonewall, and then that all came to a halt because of the AIDS crisis.
Yes.
And so, like you just said, when it came to like the 90s, like being sex positive and being exploitative with your sexual being and, probably embracing kink and fetish, especially in public places, I'm assuming you had a lot of like pushback from that, especially with building out a brand that was so hypersexualized in the midst of a pandemic that was still kind of raging. So like what were you getting as you were building the beginnings of Nasty Pig on the tail end of the AIDS crisis? Like, was the gay community embracing it? Were they shutting it down? What were you getting?
Definitely shutting it down.
Really? Okay.
We were wildly unpopular for our stance. We were really, in the book, I talk about how we had a note taped to our door that said, stop spreading AIDS. Wow. Like, nobody really liked us in the queer landscape because we were bucking the trend. Our leadership was like, blend in, like we're not sick. So like just be quote unquote normal. And I was like, I did not work so hard to come out of the closet to be heteronormative. It just wasn't my thing. To each his own and to each her own, but that wasn't where I was at. So, but we were really unpopular. The press wouldn't report on us. Like we had very few customers. But I told my man, I was like, Daddy, it's going to take 20 years for everyone to come around. And it took 20 years before we started to get popular. We were highly disliked in the fetish scene because we were so radical in how we were.
Even in the fetish scene, you were disliked.
Radical in what? In what
that
ways?
We were presenting, look, nobody wants to be rebellious and look like their dad, And so we were stepping out with this vision of fetish that was like, it's fairly common now, but like combining sportswear and streetwear and sneakers and harnesses and stuff that is it just wasn't being done. So when we showed up in the fetish scene, we were considered young troublemakers, breaking the rules. But I was like, this is what the scene is for. So, but yeah, we were pretty unpopular for a long time.
Wow.
How did you, that's
crazy.
It's crazy.
And it took about 20 years?
Yeah, we started in 94. And 2013 was when we really just started to like really grab New York. And pretty crazy, right?
That is really inspiring.
It's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe. And I'm curious as to how you stayed the course with getting so much, I guess, negative feedback, or was it negative? Like what? Like
it was everything from negative feedback, people telling us to change the name, like in the world of fashion, stores wouldn't carry us because our name back then, that name, it was very, very provocative.
Right.
Like now it's fairly common to use these terms, but super provocative. But I'm the consummate underdog. Like push me into a corner and I come out swinging. So and there's also something to be said for taking failure off the table as an option. Like when you take that off the table, when you say, I can't fail because I won't, and it's just not a possibility, it really motivates you. I think most people spend a lot of time entertaining how things could fall apart. And
what's my fallback plan?
Right. Yeah. And I was like, I don't have a fallback plan. Like, what am I going to do? If after a number of years I was unemployable, like I said, I'm a poetry major. Who's going to hire a poetry major with a 10-year gap on their resume? Like, I'm not exactly, a great job candidate.
You're either the barista or the millionaire.
Yeah. What else am I going to do?
You could have been the poet laureate.
Yeah. Because there's big money in poet laureate.
Yeah. For Reagan, Reagan's poet laureate.
Exactly.
LOL,
oh my God.
L-O-fucking-L.
That's fascinating.
Oh my God. Wait, where'd you go to school?
SUNY Binghamton.
SUNY Binghamton.
Yeah,
I'm going to send all my estimated payment checks.
Oh, yeah?
Binghamton, New York.
That's right.
That's right. It's a process.
Oh my God. Wait, what do you did you have to do a thesis as a poetry major?
No, I had to write a bunch of children's stories and I had to just write a book of poems and stuff. And
do you still have them?
Yeah.
Do you still write poetry?
All the time.
You do?
All the time.
Do you publish it?
No,
it's just for you.
It just
I bet I would
read it.
read the shit out of a children's book you wrote.
I
bet your children's stories are
the bridge.
So good.
I kind of moved into I kind of stuck with poetry. That's really
I love it.
When you're writing, I find that when you're writing something and you have to make every word count, like I use it to kind of work out my shit. And sometimes it's not working out, just make it very clear. Like if you have to choose every word, language defines perception. So if you sit and you work through it and then it makes sense, it's like, okay, at least I know what I'm feeling. I may not have any answers, but at least now I'm very clear on what it is that I'm going through.
That is exactly, I'm a daily journaler. And I'm when I'm having a rough time, I'm like, just get it out. Just get it on the page.
Yeah.
And then when I look at it, I'm like, okay, so, and sometimes it takes 4 or 5 pages before I'm like, and that's the issue.
And that's it right
and that's
there.
it right there. Yep.
There it is. Yeah.
What was the kind of messaging that you got, maybe from your family or your community, about sexuality? And I guess how did you find yourself landing into kink and fetish land?
So there was no messaging. I mean, when I was young, look, I don't know if your viewers or you would know who George Michael and Boy George are.
Of course.
They were not out of the closet. You had these flaming queens who were not publicly. So there was no
Boy
gay.
George.
I mean,
straight as an arrow.
There was no gay. You didn't talk about it. So I really found my way.
And you grew up, in Staten Island?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So, I mean, I knew I was gay. I just suppressed it. And then when I came out, I met Fred after dating guys for 5 months and we fell in love. And
where'd you guys meet?
We met at the break at Dollar Margarita.
That's Dollar Margarita Night. Dollar Margarita Night.
We met on 22nd and 8th.
Okay.
You know, and then one night we came home from like the Roxy or something with all of our friends, and nothing sexual was happening, but they put like this, or they would put a porn on, and there was someone getting fisted. It's like, you told me I'm okay to talk about.
100%.
And everybody in the room was like,
forward.
ew.
Very
and I was
forward.
like, not ew.
Yeah.
And then I really learned about kink through these two gentlemen who lived on Bethune Street who really took me under their wing. And I really discovered how when you use your body as a vessel for feeling things, like you can really, I came through it from a very spiritual place, believe it or not.
No.
And really putting my body through things. And I was like, if I can endure certain things, then I can endure life. And I really had a lot of very deep spiritual connections to kink and SM. Wow. Yeah, for real. Like that's how I learned about it, was guys hanging from flesh hooks and like all these ancient rituals. And I really learned about queer people in Eastern cultures. And sort of that's how I came to it, was really from this idea of conquering my body to conquer the world.
Is it still something that you're like, you're kind of like...
Man, I have 1,000 questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. I'm being a good guest.
The first thing you said about...
If I can conquer my body, I can conquer the world.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt. So that's kind of how I went into it. You know, on top of meeting Fred, I met these two guys who lived right here named Javier and Jeff, and they really kind of taught me about queer history in Eastern cultures and about body modification, all this different stuff, but approached it from a very spiritual place. And that's kind of was my relationship to it, was like, okay, this is my body, and if I can, what can I do with it?
Yeah.
What can I do to it? What
A lot
can,
of ownership with that too, and autonomy
over my body, and that came with it autonomy over my entire existence.
Do you think that kink and fetish always has to be rooted in sex? Like, is it always about sexuality or getting off? Or is it, like you said, it can also be primarily like spiritual?
I think, you know, I think it's funny. Kink and fetish has expanded so much to everything outside of, I guess, what would be called vanilla. You know, I named my book Sodomy Gods because the word sodomy means anything that isn't, you know, straight vanilla missionary sex. So, you know, I kind of wanted to talk about how we all engage in sodomy. Like sodomy has been used against queer people. Yeah. But I think expanding that into kink and fetish and really using it, it can be anything you want. I think it's just I think it's a matter of using sex and sexual contact to do something to ascend to someplace else. That's how I see it. And I think people who explore it generally are looking to, if you're intrinsically curious about your body, you're probably a curious person, and curious people are the best people in the world. Like people show up and ask questions.
Yes.
You know, so that's kind of that's how I see kink and fetish and the people have I met. Lots of free thinkers. Yeah. Lots of people who are really on their own path, and really that's why I kind of got involved in the first place. I went to IML for the first time, and I was shocked.
IML?
At how many International Mr. Leather.
Mr. Leather, okay.
Which is this whole beauty pageant thing. But I went there after I started the company. I was encouraged to go there. And
did you win?
No, I didn't compete.
Oh, you didn't compete. You just
Where is it held?
I brought our gear.
Okay.
It's held in Chicago, and they have a vendor market. So I brought made a little tiny booth. I had no idea what I was doing, and at the time, the leather community, they were the pariahs of our community. Yeah. They were really chastised by our community. And when I went out there, I was shocked at how many people these guys were just very down to earth, free thinkers, and that's when Nasty Pig really kind of got deeply connected with that scene. I was like, I'll just be a messiah to the pariahs and like stand up for this community that was completely chopped from the movement.
Really? I was unaware of this. Like,
big time.
In what capacity? Like, in what way?
Because post-AIDS, they were blamed. They were the face.
Really?
They were the targets. Yes. Like when you thought about when propaganda was used against us, it was these freaks and these guys who were in this neighborhood, in the trucks, and in sex clubs, and they were really blamed for really what was a pandemic that happened to us. Yeah. It was a health crisis because everyone ignored us. But within the community, they were deeply shunned just for being themselves. They took the heat, and I was fascinated to learn what they really were all about. Yeah, it was really cool getting to know them. I was already involved in a very small young fetish scene in the early 90s. But like you would go out to these nights and there would be like 50 people.
Wow.
Like, I mean 50.
That's it.
50.
50.
50.
Not 51.
Young guys. No. 50 at the
50
most.
tops.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, or bottoms.
Yeah. But
oh
my
God.
It was very small. It was very, very, very tiny. But we were working to reclaim something, or not even to reclaim, to hold on to something that was deeply embedded in queer tradition.
Yeah.
What do you think has helped the kink fetish scene expand over the years?
Well, other than Nasty Pig,
Yeah.
back hair flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Other than Nasty Pig, certainly I think that just the internet has really helped have people find community. The advent of PrEP, I think, helped people really kind of take something that they continue to have shame over and be able to let go of it. So I think those two factors really contributed a lot to the fact that younger generations can embrace all different identities and all different parts of themselves.
Yeah, I find it really fascinating when I'm on like Grindr or Scruff or any of the adult playtime apps. I'm really fascinated to see that there's like a much younger generation of like 20, 21-year-olds who are like really leaning into like hardcore kinks and fetishes. And I was like, oh my God, like I was a virgin at 22. And then these boys
they come out pre-baked.
They're like 20. Yeah. But there's these literally.
They come right out of the oven, pre-baked.
Ready to go.
Ready to
like,
strap
oh
up.
my God.
Yeah.
Like, there's like 20-year-olds that are like, wanted to get fisted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, live your life. But like, oh my God, I don't even
You
know
had
if
to
I
work
knew
up
what
to
it-
that.
Yeah. It's taken me 20 years to get there.
It's been 30 years.
30 years. But I'm just like, I'm so impressed at like how far we've come as a community in the way that sexuality is able to be played with and expressed now, at least in the gay community. For like younger gays, I'm like, whoa, you guys are really embracing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you feel, I feel like it's so much more
I think
risque in the hetero community.
Yeah, no, the hetero. I mean, there's certainly kink and fetish in the hetero community, but not nearly as.
It's not as open.
It's not
and like talked
It's
about.
not talked about. It's not like as widely, discussed, or like it's not like, I look at like my friends and they're in pretty like, vanilla relationships. But I think even
do you ever talk about like kinks or fetishes with your friends or like any of your married friends? Are they talking about like what? No, like
no.
I feel like gays just talk about everything.
I
We just
think
talk
so.
about everything. Yeah.
Well, I think there's space for it. You know, there's less that's taboo. As queer people, we get to make our own rules.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I think without, and I don't speak to a heterosexual experience, I can only speak to my own, but having no rules, you get to play with fire, and you got to be careful because it's going to burn you sometimes.
It will.
It will. But it really creates space to come up with our own adaptations and our own ideas of what things are, and give space to explore.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to my straight friends about it if they ask questions, and I'm very open to discussing it. And I think, like you said, it's what goes on behind closed doors, and even more importantly, what goes on behind closed eyes. Because when like when you're at the end of the day, like if you go to Pornhub and stuff and they release their searches, like these straight people are going for it.
They
They're
are.
At least when they're alone.
They're looking.
They're looking.
So
they are
they are
absolutely
looking.
I think we give each other permission to say it's okay to look and it's okay to do more.
I think it's like inherently being a queer person or a gay person, however you identify, you've had to question your identity since day one, and the way and the space in which you exist in the world and society. You're constantly questioning. And so while for like maybe a part of my, I don't know, like teens and 20s, I like resented that of like, oh, I don't get to just like easily slot into society. Like now as an adult, I'm very grateful that that's like part of our identity and our existence, is that we are constantly questioning and poking and looking around and being curious and like, oh, I'll try that. There are so many things that I've tried that I was like, oh, I wonder what this would have been like had I had, I don't know, like a different identity or a different sexual orientation or identity growing up. Like, I don't know. I'm grateful for the ability to kind of explore.
Yeah. Like what I always find fascinating is that sex is so, we experience the world through our senses. So like we see, we hear. So like having a limited sex life to me, which is our sense of touch. Like, are you going to eat one bowl of porridge your whole life? Are you going to watch one movie and listen to one song and just find one thing and just be like, this is it? So like we've got this gift to be able to touch each other, and it's proven that physical touch it releases oxytocin. It's just great for you. So I feel really blessed that we can get past that, some of us, not all of us, but you can meet somebody and get naked and just like make each other feel good. There's something profound about that, from my experience.
1000%. And it's so interesting that it's used in the sort of patriarchal Christian nation as like a tool of shame and control
Right.
on as particular. I mean, for everyone, really.
Yeah, right.
But it's just it's so counterintuitive to what the actual act is, which
Yeah.
is chakra, sacral chakra,
Yeah,
touch,
it feels
connection.
good.
There's a reason we have this many nerve endings in our genitalia.
Right.
Right?
We're biologically wired.
We are
for
wired
this.
to it. If it wasn't, there's lots of animals that don't
Yes.
have that. We do.
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. I don't know where you stand.
Yes.
But whenever I come up against someone with a very rigid understanding of sex, we talk about all the time, like how America is just so puritanical with our understanding of like
Right.
sex and sexual belonging. I'm always like, based on what you believe in, like, why would an all-powerful being provide you with the most beautiful buffet of things in your body and not let you touch it?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
why
pretty
would you get
crazy.
so many nerve endings in all of your erogenous zones, but then be like, no, that's temptation. You're going to hell for that. Like, why? What do you think it is? Why do you think that like kink and fetish and sex is so like people are so scared of it? So many people are so scared of it, and like,
I think a lot of it is used to control people. And, I don't know where it came from over the years, but I do think it has to do with controlling the masses. There were times when pregnancy and STIs, I can understand why people, I don't know for sure, but I would
sure.
imagine that these were tools that, the mystery is in the history. Like if you go back and read the history, I'm sure there were times when, like when syphilis and getting these things you were
sure.
considered like a demon if you got it. And so, but things have changed and we have science.
yes,
And we have knowledge, and with science and knowledge, we can better understand ourselves. And so I think it's a real shame that some people have to hold on to that. I mean, and to each their own. If it works for you, great. But if it's working so well for you, why are you pushing it on other people? If you're satisfied, I am not sitting here telling people you need to do this and you need to do that. I'm
Yeah.
speaking about my own experience.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty happy guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty happy guy.
You are going to
So,
hell, but
if there is such a thing,
Yeah.
then,
I'll see you
maybe.
there, honey. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know so much about that burning end
I
and
know,
everything.
I know.
I don't even know what comes next. But, reincarnation may be real, but if not, I'm going to eat donuts and take dick in this lifetime. In case I'm not coming back, I'm doing it right in this lifetime.
In that order.
There it is, honey.
Yeah, absolutely in that order.
Yep,
but both,
exactly.
please.
Oh my God, eating donuts and taking dick. Was that the alternate title to your book?
No, originally it was called Little Pig, but then my publisher was like, that's too small of a name
Yeah.
for this big book. So I talk about the Sodomy Gods. That was in my
Yeah.
spiritual journey.
And while we're talking about it,
Yeah.
we're gonna pitch.
Yeah.
So
Pitch.
David's
Talk to us.
memoir, Sodomy Gods. Everyone buy a copy. And you said the audiobook is now out.
The audiobook I just finished recording
You
it.
just finished recording it.
Yes,
When does
it'll
it come
be out in the fall.
Oh my God. I would
So-
listen to you read this
I-
entire book.
yeah.
You know what's really cool is that after I wrote the book, this gentleman named Aaron Blank, who won 2 Grammys for audiobooks, read the book and he was like, look, I want to work with you on this book. And I was like, I have a producer I've worked with for years named Chad Jack, who's done all my music with me. So we recorded it and he produced it. And then this guy, Aaron, signed on to executive producer. And so it's really cool to get that sort of affirmation of validation.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the most important review was from my mom. So my mom read this book.
Talk to us.
Yeah.
Talk to us. I want
Oh,
to hear
this
what
is
Mom said
amazing.
about Sodomy
So
Gods.
Sodomy Gods is a love story. It's the love story. It's me and Fred's love story. It's our love for each other. It's our love of fashion, our love of our community. It's my love story. So it talks about, it doesn't hold back from being explicit, but I don't think it's salacious. It's really our experience. And so my mom read it. My mom is an avid reader. She doesn't not read. And so after she read it, she was like, well, I learned some things about you. She's like, but I had no idea that this was such a powerful spiritual love story that you and
Wow.
Fred went through. So I was really excited when the book came out. It sold very well,
Yeah.
which was great.
Great review in the Times.
Great review in the Times,
Yeah.
great review in Kirkus Books. So now to have the audiobook, which I hope will reach a bigger platform.
Yeah.
When I wrote it, I knew that it was niche. But then, Heated Rivalry came out as love story about 2 gay guys, and they are doing it. So if anybody is looking
Wild.
for an authentic love
Yeah.
story with built-in brand recognition,
Oh my
hit me up.
God.
You should be the coach on season 2. Like season 2 of Heated Rivalry. We'll get you in there.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's why we called it. I talk about. There's a point in the book where I kind of arrive at the spiritual place, and I talk about, my gods are the sodomy gods. Like this is who rules me. And then he was the one who pitched that name for the book. And I do think it's interesting because
It's a great
sodomy
name.
it's a word that is used. It's like oral is sodomy. Everything is sodomy.
Yeah.
Yet it's been used to criminalize queer behavior.
Yes.
So I really wanted to use nasty pig is a strong name. This is my thing. I use strong names, but
it makes an impact.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for the audio.
Was
I'm
your
so
mom?
excited.
Was your mom? How has your family been? Have they been supportive of your journey through like the ups and downs of when you like first started the business and all that? Like, how has that been?
My family, they were concerned when I started the business because I didn't have health insurance. I'm breaking out on my own. I come from a family of, 2 New York City school teachers. They saved, retired. They went that path. So they were concerned about my choices, but they always supported me. I was honest with them about my life, from meeting Fred. And then, once I came out, the fact that we were exploring an open relationship. Reading the book was a different experience. When my sister read it, she did not want my parents and my mom to read it.
Okay.
She was like,
don't let them read it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm in there talking about, I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
Donuts and dick.
Donuts and
dick. Yeah.
Lots of dick.
Yeah.
Lots of dick.
So about experimenting with drugs. Like I was very honest about it.
Okay.
And it caused my sister and I are super close. It caused us to fight, which we never do. But I was like, mom's an adult. Like I'm an adult. So she has the option to read this.
Yeah.
And hearing her give me a good review was the most important review that I could ask for.
Wow.
So yeah. She was
beautiful.
the one. I don't know if you guys know Kirkus, but Kirkus is a book reviewer. It's kind of like what Michelin is to restaurants.
Yeah.
And when Kirkus reviewed it, she called me and she was like, "You got a great review," and they gave it the get it check mark. No one gets that. So like, God. It felt really good that I could write something beautiful that would touch my mom in the way that it did. So
I love
it's a love
this.
story. All my advisors wanted me to write a founder story. They were like, write a business book. There's such a big market for business, but we have enough fucking business.
We have enough
We
business.
need more
We
love.
need more love.
We need
We
more
need more
love.
connection.
So it
We need
focuses
more-
on me and Fred.
And leading with authenticity, like how beautiful that you were able to share like 100% who you are in these pages.
Yeah.
And that it was received with love and validation by your mom.
Yeah.
Like who, like ultimately, we just all want our moms to love us.
Yeah.
So to get
it's
that
really,
review is like,
it's really powerful.
So powerful and special.
I need to ask. So 33 years together with Fred. What is that's a long ass
That's a
time.
long time.
Yeah.
How do you guys? A lot of people don't make it to 33
Right.
years. Like, what are the things that you guys do either on like a daily basis or like over the years? How has your relationship changed? I'm just so I'm always interested in the longevity of relationships and
Right.
how people make it work.
So I think for me and Fred, I think we're both, well, first of all, we're both artists, and our union allows us to live as free artists. Like when we started, within a year, we had both quit our jobs, and that in and of itself, being able to wake up every day as an artist is extremely powerful.
Wow.
And I think the other thing is we both, being in a relationship is really about showing up and be able to you have to be willing to strip away your own bullshit, your ego, everything that you think that you hold on to at first, and this is what's important to me, and this. You got to kind of be willing, at least be willing to let go of 2/3 of you. You have, it's not just you anymore. You have to give 1/3 to you, but 1/3 to your partner and 1/3 to the union.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you really have to be willing to let go of 66%, but in the end, 99%. Like I don't have that much left that's just mine, and I don't give a shit. Like I'm wildly independent, but every day, if you're gonna pull some fucking bullshit and you're gonna talk like a dummy, you've got to look at that person. That's a mirror. And if you're going to act the fool, you're acting the fool to someone else who you love. So don't act the fool so much and take responsibility for your crap. And it really stripped me of my ego. And I love him so much. We're not perfect. Like we
Nobody.
Occasionally we are, like we still have at it. But yeah, I think that's really the secret, is just being knowing that in the end, if you find the right person or people, and it doesn't have to be, I tell people, don't hold up me and Fred as some like perfect example. Fred and I are very, we choose happiness over fun, which I think queer people sometimes get really mixed up.
Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you break that down? Like break down that delineation.
Yeah.
So
So I
fun.
think because we
Okay.
have no rules and we
Okay.
get to have all the fun we want, people
You can really go to the candy store.
You can go to the candy store and eat 24/7.
24/7
dining in
donuts.
rear,
Yeah,
open
yeah,
all
yeah,
night.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to have fun, but you can just be happy. And I think for me and Fred, he really kept me focused on what is making me happy, what is making us happy. And that's very different sometimes than how you're having fun.
Wow.
And so I really had to pull back and say, I may be having fun, but am I really finding happiness here?
Yeah.
And in the end, I found happiness building what we did and being artists and just being with my man. I told you, and making him, when we were together about 15 years. We were in couples counseling, and our couples counselor, this woman, she said, let me tell you what's going on with you two. She was like, Fred, you love making David happy. And David, you love making David happy. So that's really the dynamic that you two need to figure out, because you're both at fault here.
Wow.
You both have shit to work on. You
Wow.
both have to work on it. And I really had to really, truly decenter myself. And then he had to decenter me too.
Yeah.
Right.
We worked really hard over the past 15 years to kind of balance our relationship. And now nothing makes me happier than just seeing him gardening and swimming. And I know it sounds hokey and romantic, but it's true. It's
beautiful
true.
and perfect. And
I just love seeing him in the pool.
I wish we could all have that therapist too. Man,
she's pretty
Riley
great.
Yeah.
She's pretty
pulls no
great.
punches. My God. Here's the deal.
Well,
Yeah.
she was a CEO who became a therapist. I still work with her.
I love
I
that
want her.
trajectory.
I want
Dr.
her.
Karen Oates.
Oh my
but she
I
was
love that
she was a CEO, built a company, sold it, and then had a foundation, and then she became a licensed therapist and deals with family-owned businesses and family dynamics. So she really approaches therapy from a less sort of like, and
She's
to
a
each his own,
badass.
but
less of a
she
woo.
calls it
Yeah.
She's like, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Like get it together.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
need
Some
that.
people need that.
I
That
need
is
that.
not for
Yeah.
me.
I
would
it.
cry.
I got too many yes people in my life. I need some no people around me.
yeah.
I bulldoze people.
Someone
so.
to
my
wrangle you
God.
in.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still work with her. She's excellent.
Karen.
She sounds amazing.
Yeah, Karen Oates. She's
I
pretty
need a
awesome.
Karen and I need a Fred. I need both.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah. Well,
I want
I feel
Fred
to have a
so
friend.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Fred's mine.
Oh my God.
Well, you can have Fred too,
Karen?
I'll loan him
Karen?
out. I'll
You
loan him
available?
out. I'll send in a surrogate bottom every now and
come on,
again.
come on.
Not saying anything about you. I'm just saying that's more about me.
Surrogate bottom.
I will say that about Drew.
I gotta have someone fill in when I'm not around.
Oh my God. Can I ask a personal question and you can decline?
Absolutely.
I'm just so curious. Like, what's the most extreme kink or fetish you've explored?
So I've done everything from, I've kind of settled into, power dynamics. So really dom sub energy, ass play and fisting.
Okay.
I love a connection. I love that giving away power and trust. But I've done everything. I've SM, I've topped, I've bottomed, bondage, flogging, electro. I've tried it all.
Electro.
Yeah, I've tried it all.
Wow. So you've done like so
I've kind of
much.
done
what's
everything.
electro? When
Just
you
like-
just
Yeah, like
electromagnet-
electro
shocking,
things.
right?
Yeah,
Like
putting like
electrotherapy.
electric butt plugs in and attaching stuff to various places. And
Whoa.
yeah, it's pretty intense.
Okay. Does it are you having like the most intense orgasms on those?
So I don't really do. So I don't do that as much anymore.
Okay.
That was just when I was just like I said, I was experimenting,
Exploring, yeah.
running coursing things through my body. And it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Like I engaged in some intense stuff, all consensual, obviously. But then you kind of settle into what you like. I'll tell you what, my favorite thing is one-on-one, connected, intense. But I really like dom sub type of stuff.
Are you a dom or a sub?
So definitely, so when I'm clothed, I'm a total top. I'm a fucking ice king. I run my company. I am calm. I have to be calm and cool and collected.
I love it.
If I shake, everybody shakes. So
Yeah.
I kind of need to keep it even. But get me naked, I don't want to make a single decision. Like, I don't know. And
That makes so much. I was just talking about this in therapy. Yeah.
I'm versed. But when it comes to where I really want to go, yeah, I do enough decisioning in my life.
I love this. I also love the term Ice King.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's one of the things about being a good leader is you kind of have to absorb the world is a fucked up place, and
Yeah.
I can't throw my own when things go wrong for me. I can't put that on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they deserve good leadership.
Yeah.
They show up and they choose to invest their energy in what we do, and
Yeah.
so as the CEO, I have to absorb everything and just
Wow.
I've got a great COO who who fortunately allows me to sometimes shake a little bit. He's at my side all the time. And clearly my husband does it well. But I really do have to kind of be strong and even. And,
Totally
and that
makes
takes
sense.
a lot of strength.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
It really does.
What would you say for people that are new to the kink fetish scene but want to dip their toes in but don't know where to start?
I would start by finding some people you trust, like looking for community. You can read. There's a lot of lot of reading you can do. There's a series of old books called Modern Primitive I would recommend. There's an old book you can find called Trust on fisting. There's really a hidden knowledge that you have. And then just, explore with your eyes open and realize that you're going to put yourself into some vulnerable positions. So make sure the people that you're with are trustworthy. At the end of the day, there has to be a real respect.
Yeah.
Know your boundaries, and it's okay to set good guardrails. I encourage people to find safe words and to really lean into, what's always worked, so that these situations can be, like I said before, you get to play with fire. And you have to know that you got to get close enough that you stay warm, but if you get too close, you're going to get burned, and that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say is know you're playing with fire and respect it.
Yeah.
Respect it.
Yeah.
Just respect it like you would, building a fire in a fireplace, or you're not going to stick your hand in if you get the right tools so that you can toast marshmallows.
Toast those marshmallows, honey.
Toast those marshmallows.
Yes.
Eat the donuts, toast some marshmallows.
Toast the marshmallows.
It all goes back to food for me.
It always does.
I love it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Like, I'm curious about, okay, I'm so vanilla when it comes to like my fashion choices.
Right.
And like, it took me even until like 6 or 7 years ago to be like, okay, maybe I'll wear a Speedo at the beach.
Right.
I'm so boring. Like, but you have so much about Nasty Pig that's in your brand and that's in your line that really is like accentuating so many aspects of sexuality, especially for gay men. I have a friend who actually modeled for one of your campaigns, and like, of course, he looked like hot as fuck. And I was like, yes, babe. But I'm like, I don't own anything. Like, I don't really own anything. So like,
do you mean owning it, like owning it, or like you
both.
don't have it?
I have like one jockstrap that doesn't fit anymore,
Okay.
and then like a Speedo. I'm so lame. I'm so boring.
But that's
Stop.
but wait a second.
Yeah.
But
Well, no.
say
Sorry. I'm not
Thank
trying
you.
to
Are
judge.
you happy? Like that's the thing about fashion, is that it's a way to express yourself, and being extreme. If ultimately you have to look in the mirror, and that's the thing about fashion, is that it's the only art form we all participate in every day. Like you may not watch a movie, you may not see, but you get up and get dressed. And if you feel good, like I think I like the way, like you got your mustache going, you got a little vibe going, you got that big butt.
Ew.
Not that I was looking, but at the end of the
That's
day,
the best compliment in the world. Thank you.
It's really, it's
a good
about
day.
feeling good about yourself. And I encourage people, but fashion can also be transformative. Like you put something on and you look in the mirror and you see yourself in a different way, and that can really help you see things differently.
Yeah.
So, I would say less about, oh, I'm vanilla, I'm this and I'm that. Like, do you wake up and you feel good? And then if you want to try something, there's no harm in trying.
Yeah.
Come to my studio, I'll dress you up.
That's kind of where I'm leaning. Like, not being like, hey, come in, dress me up, but let's do it. However, I'm saying more like, I want to explore it more, but I guess I'm just, hey,
I'll come with you,
I'm
and
a
we'll
little bit
get-
lazy, but I'm also just because I don't know what I like.
Right.
But
You
like,
gotta try it on?
I am
You
like,
got to try it on.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I think there's so many options out there. Like even when I'm in P-Town, and my friends and I were looking at harnesses, and they're like, I was like, oh God, I was like, there's the leather ones, there's the rubber ones, there's the metal ones, there's the chains, and I was like, I don't even know what I like.
Overwhelmed.
Right.
with-
Like I just get overwhelmed.
See, that's
Like-
where I love to come in. Is I love what I love about what I do is that I get to dress somebody up and I get to turn them around in the mirror, and they're like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "What do you
What
think?
do you
Yeah.
think? What do you
Yes.
feel?
What do you think?"
Yes.
Yeah.
You could tell if somebody's in the mirror and they're like, or if they're just like, you see this light that comes on, and you need to have people who can, guide you through that.
We should do a day.
I love
we
it.
should come to. We should
We're
come.
gonna
What
come.
days are you?
Yeah,
what
when
days
can we
you?
come?
Well, because we do have to wrap up. So what days is the studio open?
The
As our
studio
final.
is closed to the public. We are moving. We're gonna
okay.
we're moving to a bigger space that will have a showroom.
Okay, we'll be
But
there.
but I will. If you two reach out to me, I will make a special appointment.
David, I would love this.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
Let
my
that be my
biggest.
pride gift. I want my
Yes.
pride gift to be, I want to explore and like have a little bit more fun.
I love this.
Yeah, I love
Yes,
it.
you two are welcome.
My girlfriend's
Thank
going to
you.
be thrilled.
Kelly.
Silence.
Who's Kelly?
I'm fucking with you. I don't have a girlfriend.
Okay.
I'm gay. It's my fictional girlfriend, Kelly.
Fictional girlfriend.
Yeah. I did actually have a girlfriend named Kelly, but when I was in
we
high
did.
school.
Okay.
Anyway, David.
Wrap it up.
This has been incredible. Where can people buy a copy of Sodomy Gods?
So you can buy it on Amazon when it's not sold out, but you could also buy it at nastypig.com. That's where I would
Go to
Okay.
nastypig.com.
go to nastypig.com.
Nastypig.com.
Nasty Pig.
You know.
And where can we find you on like the social pages?
I am David Lauterstein on
link it all.
Instagram. Nasty Pig on Instagram. My husband is Frederick Kearney on Instagram. He's
Great.
also great to follow. That's really the best place to find us.
Wow.
Amazing.
Well, congratulations on all your success and for, 20
Yeah.
years pushing through and like
Love it.
following your passion. It's so inspiring, actually, even for us to hear that.
Yeah. No, it was like
So,
really,
like,
this was great.
This is a dynamite episode. Thank you.
You're so
David.
fun.
Thank
You'll come
you.
back. We'll do a round
Yeah.
two.
Yes, I
We
would
need
love
round
to.
With Drew, and Drew will be.
Please.
I'll be
Yes, we should come
head
back
to
and we should
toe.
have Drew open, just
Full
done.
Nasty
Absolutely.
Pig.
Done.
I'm ready.
Head to
Done.
toe
Done.
MP.
Done.
I'm so ready.
I love
Oh my God.
it.
All right,
Okay.
happy Pride. Happy Pride all.
Happy Pride.
Bye.
Bye.